Today we are going to create a pinch pot, and you'll have a set of instructions. You'll have these little stamps, your clay of course, and then your slip water and paper towel. And the best tools are your hands for this. So the first thing you're going to do when making a pinch pot is you want to roll the clay into a ball. Okay, so you can roll it onto the table if you prefer. You can roll it in your hands. Any way is fine. Okay, now it doesn't have to be perfect, but I would get rid of some of the larger cracks. Okay, and try to smooth those out. And then roll it again. And then once you have a pretty decent sized ball, you're going to place your thumb at the center. You're going to push it right in the middle of your clay. Okay, so I didn't go through the other end, so I've got a little like start here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to pinch your thumb and your fingers together. Okay, and then you slightly move the ball of clay. Okay, so it's starting to form a pot. And you'll notice there's getting to be little cracks. I'm not really worried about that right now. I'll fix those. But what I'm doing is I'm just taking my thumb and fingers and kind of pressing together and making sure my walls are even. So, you know, they need to be about finger thickness is what I usually shoot for. And then once you have that, you're going to have some cracks and all that. So this is where you want to smooth things out. And I like to do the big smoothing if there's large areas without water. Then once I feel like that's done, this is where that water cup's going to come in handy. So you just dip your finger in the water and you're going to rub it in. And notice my left hand here is supporting the inside walls while my right hand is going over here. And I happen to be using my thumb because it's a larger area. So when I do the water, I think of my water, I'm not dunking it in, but I think of the water kind of like lotion, you know, is to your skin. Water is the same thing for clay. Now, just like lotion to your skin, you would not put a big blob of white lotion on your skin and just walk out the door. You would rub it in. So you want to make sure you're rubbing it in. It's going to smooth things out. I'm going to do the same thing. This is called the lip of the pot. I'm just smoothing it out so I don't have any cracks. And I'm not worried about being perfect right now. I'm just checking for my cracks. A little bit of water on there. And this part can take a while. So, but you want to do it right because any crack you have can become really sharp. Because remember, this clay right now is really soft and easy to move. But after next time, it's going to be bisqueware, which means it's going to be like glass. So you won't be able to bend and manipulate the clay anymore. So you have to do all of that today and make sure it looks the way you want so you don't have any problems. Okay, so I've got it kind of formed here, a little bowl. Now I'm just going to kind of tap it and kind of even out my sides. And then I'm also going to use my finger and I'm going to press my clay onto the table here. And it's doing two things. One, it's smoothing out the inside, but it's also smoothing out the outside. So this process takes a while. We're not rushing. You have all class period to work on this. Okay, so it's becoming more and more what I want. Now, some people, I kind of tap it here so it's a little flatter on the end. You could leave it like this. I'm going to kind of bend my sides up a little bit more. So basically it can hold more. I'm just pinching. I'm not pinching hard, just more bending, actually. A little bit of pinching and more bending. I'm gonna move my cup so I can move this around. And notice that I am on my paper towel. And the reason why, one, it makes it easier to turn. And you could even take the paper towel and fold it. And two, it's gonna save us time at cleanup. So I'm starting to get there, going around and around. See the bottom there? Little cracks. Rub my water in it. Little cracks around here. Same thing. Rub my water. Just be careful that you're not adding too much. If it becomes really shiny and starts to become super sticky, that means you're adding too much water. So make sure you put enough that it absorbs, but not so much that you're leaving it like shiny like that, because what's going to happen is that water will start eroding the clay. So, and you don't want the clay to fall apart. So I'm getting a nice smooth surface here, making sure my walls are pretty even. And clay, you're never going to get clay perfect, okay? But you can get it as close as possible by just smoothing, okay? So right now I've got a little container here. It's a little pinch pot. You could have had your walls higher. It just kind of depends on what you're wanting. And then this is where the texture becomes fun to use. You can use it on the keep the outside smooth if you prefer, but I love the texture. So I just kind of lay it down, and I'm just going to take my clay and I'm just rotating it and pushing it down at the same time. And then you're going to see this kind of cool texture on it. And I like the texture because when you paint, it gives it you know, some high and lows, and also some areas that the paint's going to naturally become darker. Okay, I've got it all the way around. I could leave the bottom like that. I could do the same on the inside, but I generally like a smooth on the inside. And then I have these new stamps for your initials. So my initials are BK. So I'm going to find my BK. You can write your whole name too. You could even write words in here if you want. So I'm going to flip it over, and there's my B. Press it in there, and there's my K. Okay, I will write your class code in here. So 3, and then your code. And what I'm also going to do, and you don't have to worry about this, I am going to take this tool and make a little hole, just a teeny hole, on either side. And this is where we're going to add our little handle. Okay, so we'll have fun colored wire and beads next time, but we're going to add a handle and then paint. So we have our little pinch pot. Your walls can be higher if you want, and then we're going to have a hole on either side so we can attach the wire and the beads. And then I also have my name or initials, and I'll write class code in here. Okay, so that's what we're going to be working on today. Make sure you smooth out everything, because remember, anything that's rough today will become sharp next time, okay? So right now it's really soft and easy to move. Next time you won't have that chance. So have fun, and then when you're finished, make sure your initials are on the back, it's smoothed out, and then hand to me.